The jury has deliberated in the Ray Tenzing murder retrial for 11 hours now. The panel is now sequestered for the night. It's the former UC officer's second trial for the shooting death of Sam DuBose. It was during a traffic stop, you may recall. Some police officers are upset about the trial, and their anger is directed now at the prosecutor. Local 12's Deborah Dixon is live at the courthouse with a look at what is this talk all about, Deb.
What it's all about is a diss. Some Cincinnati police officers say that the assistant prosecutor called into question the integrity of a homicide detective who worked that case. Cincinnati Police Sergeant Shannon Hine was a prosecution witness, but she did the defense a favor when she testified. She was in homicide at the time of the fatal shooting and interviewed Ray Tenzing. She said she thought she was dealing with a justified shooting. Assistant Prosecutor Seth Teager hit back in closings.
Sorry about the circumstances, but it's just a formality. And then Ray Tenzing said, okay. What did that mean to you, ladies and gentlemen? Is that how these officers would treat a so-called regular murder suspect?
And then he said this.
Was this the good old boy network kicking in?
FOP President Dan Hill said questioning Hine's integrity threw other cops under the bus.
If somebody like Sergeant Shannon Hine is going to be dishonest, then you're throwing a whole lot of us, under the bus, and it's just not the case. She was involved in internal affairs for years. She prosecuted police officers, or was part of prosecuting of police officers. If somebody's done something wrong, Shannon's going to be one of those people that help find the truth, and so his statements were way out of line.
Activity that has to do with the Ray Tenzing trial today was limited to a few protesters outside the courthouse. There are usually more deputies in the so-called overflow room than observers. Some Cincinnati police bicycle cops were riding around the courthouse practicing for a possible protest. They rode next to protesters last November after the first jury couldn't agree on a verdict. No one is expecting that size crowd to move through the city this time. So Rob, I checked with some community leaders in the black community, and here's what they say is going on, why we don't have the people showing up. Last November, it was every day. They say there's by some a wait and see attitude. The prosecution did choose to try this again. To them, that means the prosecution is serious about justice. But then there are also a large number of people in the black community who believe a white policeman will never be convicted of killing a black man, and they've just sort of given up on justice. Now, everything could change when this verdict comes out, and that's what I'll be back here waiting for again tomorrow, Rob.
Well, speaking of waiting, how long did the jury in the first trial deliberate? I can't remember that.
That jury was out 25 hours before they came back with an absolute, we cannot agree on this, and it was declared a hung jury. So there's been about 11 hours under.
There's been no indication of any kind of leanings in this jury so far, right?
Oh, absolutely not. I would never in my crazy mind ever try to figure out what is going on in that jury room, because everyone comes with so many different experiences in their life. There's just no way to figure that out, Rob.
Yeah, very true. Thanks very much. Yeah. Stay with Local 12 and local12.com. When the jury reaches a verdict, we will bring it to you live on Local 12 and local12.com. Sign up for text alerts at local12.com under the News tab.